Franz Wagner. This is a player. I had one spot higher than this. No, one or two. I can't remember. I had one or two.
So this is, I believe, I had him a couple spots lower, to be transparent. Yeah. This is one of the first guys I had a little bit lower than where our ranking ended up.
So 6'9" to 6'10" forward who can play make with the ball in his hands, can drive, slash to the rim, average 19.7 points, 5.3 rebounds, 3.7 assists, shot 48-28. We'll talk about that. 85 from the field. Career true shooting percentage is about league average. Big thing with Franz, advanced metrics, like adore him. The last 2 years, he's been over 10 wins in terms of how dunksandthrees.com and the EPM model values him. The reason for that, he is a great two-way player. He is awesome on offense and he is awesome on defense. Guards the ball well, switchable. More than anything, though, like always in the right position, great team defender. Constantly seems like he is disruptive in making things happen on that end. Offensively, dynamic as a slasher, dynamic in transition, great deceleration, very comfortable in ball screens. I love the way that he kind of, despite being 6'9", 6'10", is capable of like navigating through creases and little areas on the court as a driver.
Is he one of the more crafty finishers on his like drivers for someone his size? Like I just feel like he's so crafty with the Euro steps, plays off 2 feet, has footwork, has touch, can do it both hands, can take. He's so crafty and skilled with what he can do.
Plays off both 1 and 2 as well. As I think what's really, really impressive to me when I watch him, the way that he's capable of using that, slow step, be able to get to like a floater, using the slow step, being able to bump and then finish with his right or his left. He is really, I think crafty is the best way to put it. He's one of the craftiest finishers that you will find in the league. The passing is pretty real. I think that the way he sees the court is really high level. I think he's smart. I think that he's unselfish. He's constantly looking at the way that help defenders are coming at him. He just has this real innate sense of how to navigate defenders once he hits that painted area and then read what they're doing off of him. The big question with Franz now moving forward is the jumper.
Yep.
I don't know what to do with the jumper. If you look at his track record, I think that the way to put it is it's always just been streaky. It has always gone through like long spells of him being like a great, like a really, really good shooter and then like a really poor shooter, right? So, his first 2 years in the league, he made 35% and 36% from three. This year, he was at 28% from three. You look at the Michigan years, he made 31 and 34% from three. So like, if you look at the 5 years in America now that he's been there, he's had like 3 not great shooting years and 2 pretty good shooting years where we thought it was pretty real, right? The answer to this is I don't totally know what the shot is at this point. I thought it was on the positive trajectory going from 31 to 34 to 35 to 36. You could see the growth every single season. And he's never going to be a guy where the first option is, I'm going to fire from 3. That's just never, it's not who he is. He prefers to drive. But like, I would like to see him make 36, 37% on 5 3-point attempts per game. Like if he does that, he's an all-star like next year, I think, but I don't know if he's that.
Yeah. Just to finish off the finishing around the rim, we talked about Şengün, who 0 to 3 feet wasn't over 70% this year, according to B-Ball Reference, or last year. And Franz was 72, 73% the last couple of years. So like, that's just a comparison there of a guy that's a wing forward compared to a big, and just the numbers that Franz puts up as that. I think it comes off flat at times. Again, as I went back and just, reviewed things. And I think that can be streaky. You have to be really, really on point whenever you are shooting it that flat and it comes out flat like that. And then if your legs are a little bit tired, movement, those type of things affect it even more. And so that would be that was one of the first things that stood out to me. But I know I've said it on here that judging shooting mechanics, analyzing shooting mechanics is probably my worst aspect of anything I do in this realm. But that was something that stood out to me. The other thing, and you kind of mentioned it, his off ball cutting is awesome. He is
Unbelievable.
so good as an
One
off
of the
ball
best
cutter.
cutters in the league.
And what's interesting, now that they added another one in the draft, like they have, this offensive hub in Paolo, and then Franz is so good as an off ball cutter, and Tristan Da Silva was probably the best in this past year's class as well. So just, it's really, really good. What I like, you see him being have a little wiggle there. He can take over the offense when Paolo goes out. And I think that's what kind of makes him special. We'll talk about a couple guys here in our top 12 or wherever we're at that maybe play second fiddle to the primary guy on their team, but I think we both believe have the ability to play with the ball in hand and be the primary guy when that guy goes out. And I think Franz has that.
I ended up with Franz at 10 on my personal list, which is firmly all-star territory.
Sure.
Like that's where I would expect all of the top 10 guys that end up on our list to be all-stars, both like potentially in the short term, but certainly in the long term. I think that's where Franz's future lies. He's going to be an all-star player.
I had Franz a little bit lower, but still in a similar tier of all-star level player.
Yep, that's right.